In this video, we're going to talk about the big controversy that's happening with whom? With Elon Musk, who released a spicy girlfriend, friend, and also a wicked friend, an evil friend. He made all of this available on Grok for anyone who wants to use it. And the question that remains is, will this cause any problems? Is he responsible for this? Could this potentially distort your mind and perception? Will young people ultimately end up significantly worse off because of its pervasive influence? Is it truly going to be a form of brainwashing, leading to a situation where everyone will turn into criminals? Or where everyone will be unduly influenced by this alleged brainwashing from Elon Musk and his ideas? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. I brought a video from a couple. I really like Leon and Nilse, but there's a lot in what they say that I totally disagree with. But let's discuss it below. After all, this is democracy, right? Be polite, leave your comments below, and let's have a conversation, okay? Later, of course, I leave the link to their channel for you to check out, all right? And subscribe to their channel because it's really worth it. I've been following them for a few years now. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Guys, last week we talked about the new version of Grok, which is the artificial intelligence from X, formerly Twitter, owned by Elon Musk. It wasn't really a good thing because Musk had announced a new version of Grok that was supposed to be the great bot, right? The great GPT of truth that would only tell the truth and things like that. But in the end, the guy turned into a fan of the mustached old man, whose name I can't say here, right? Calling himself, the guy with the mechanical mustache. The guy with the mustache, just imagine. When we say the guy with the mustache, there aren't many people with mustaches whose names can't be mentioned here on YouTube because, well, it could get you demonetized, right? But he said that, and he was serious. And in the end, the Grok team had to lock him down for a while so he wouldn't say anything, right? Or write anything. Yeah, they backtracked on a lot of those issues, apologized, said they were going to fix them and all that.
Actually, what they did was they ended up speeding up the launch of Grok 4, right? Because Grok 3 went off the rails, as he said, made some inappropriate comments, let's put it that way. So they locked it down and immediately launched Grok 4 to cover it up and added this feature that we're going to talk about in a bit.
But this week, there's something else that might prove to be even more damaging and is definitely much weirder. Because Grok has recently introduced a new feature, interactive avatars that you can now fully interact with using their advanced artificial intelligence technology. Let's go. I'm going to show you 2 of them, okay? Credit here goes to Mustache AI, who posted this. Mustache AI. Wow, huh? Sorry, am I showing you this? Because I don't have.
Funny thing is, back in my hometown, there was a bar more for older folks called Mustache, exactly that, Mustache, right? Also known as Be Good.
You have to pay 30, you need to have access to Twitter. You have to use Twitter, first of all, if I'm not mistaken. But even today, and it's available on Grok. But to do this here, you need access to Super Grok. $30 a month. Guys, it's this right here. Look. You can interact with your digital waifu. You can have a conversation. In this case here, the guy asked her to dance for him. Dance for me, dance for me. And she dances. And you can interact with her in ways that, let me put it this way, you can talk to her without any limits. Let's put it that way. You can imagine what that is. He made everything available in a way that I won't say exactly what it is because I don't want to get demonetized. But I saw someone, and I also don't want to make this inappropriate for minors, but I saw someone asking Elon Musk, right? Someone mentioned this in the articles I read. Someone asked him, how is this going to help Japan's birth rate? Since Elon Musk is someone who strongly advocates for increasing the birth rate, because now you have a virtual girlfriend, you can say whatever you want to, but it's not just her either. You also have.
Well, let's listen here and then I'll share my thoughts.
Rudy, which I'm going to guess is what? Is it a panda? Is it a red panda? Right now you have these 2, and they're going to make more avatars, including.
Panda? It looks more like a fox, right? It's more like Rocket Raccoon, isn't it?
Avatars specifically aimed at a female audience and not just exclusively female, but truly anyone who is interested in male partners, right?
Yeah. Now there's going to be a truly fascinating guy who's going to be based on a compelling mix between the very famous guy from Twilight, Robert Pattinson, right? But specifically his character, who is the enigmatic vampire, and the equally well-known guy from 50 Shades of Grey, who, as anyone who is familiar with the intricate story knows, is deeply into, well, certain rather specific activities, certain distinctive methods, right?
One inspired, according to him, by the guy from 50 Shades of Grey, and the other inspired by Edward from Twilight. But that's not all. There's something here that I'm not going to show, which is the following. Anne, the one you saw here, right, who dances for you when you ask for things like that, she has a version that's not safe for work. You know that expression in English. How does it go? Not safe for work. NSFW? There's a version of her, okay, also like that, where she's wearing a different outfit, and basically you can talk to her and she has, let's say, a kind of affection engagement meter. Depending on what you say, you can flirt with her, and depending on what you do, it increases. And basically when you get up there, there is no limit to what she can say. That's basically what you're thinking.
Okay, let's go. Let's truly get started. Yeah, well, the very first and most important question is that minors absolutely shouldn't be using this particular platform, right? If your child possesses a cellular phone, it is absolutely the parent's responsibility. Parent is indeed the one providing them with this powerful tool, craziness that is a cell phone, which is truly great, right? In fact, it does about 90% of my work. It's a wonderful technology, but we've also become dependent on it, right? It's basically a drug, isn't it? Yeah. Just look at your phone's battery when it starts dropping below 30%. You already start thinking, oh my God, where's the charger? Where's an outlet, right? Oh my God, right? So you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So if your underage child, first they're on their phone and then they access Grok, the blame is on the parent, not on capitalism, right? The blame isn't on a feature that's clearly meant for adults, right? Let's be honest here, right? Besides that, there's also social media, right? It all started first with the internet, right? So we weren't dependent on the internet. I'm about to turn 41. I wasn't dependent on the internet because it didn't even exist, right? It didn't even exist. And then we said, hey, this internet thing is pretty cool, right? And then a little time passed. You see, when it ends, when the internet goes down, it feels like the world has ended. You have nothing else to do. Right? You get a bit desperate, don't you? What happened to the things you did before the internet, right? So we're addicted. Another thing too, right, is the addiction to social media. Because before there was no social media, and then something called Orkut started, then something called Facebook, where we could, add friends and all that. And today, we're addicted to social media. It's like a disease. In fact, the couple there makes money on YouTube, right? They make money from social media, so they're dependent on social media. And the topics they talk about on their channel are of extremely high quality. But lately, right, it used to be about games and stuff. Then there was the nerdy stuff and so on. And today, if you look, 70% of the channel is politics, right? It's just Trump this, Trump that. Why is that? Because they are, dependent on the algorithm, right? If they don't talk about that, the video doesn't take off. But what about their audience, which is mostly kids, watching news about Donald Trump, about bombs, about who knows what else? Aren't they influencing people either positively or negatively, and so on? And why is this kid even on YouTube, on social media? Because it's not meant for minors. I don't remember now if it's for 16-year-olds, some for 18. But the fact is, if someone has a cell phone, is using the internet, and is on social media, even registered with their own profile or someone else's, the responsibility lies with, well, up until 18, it's the parents' fault. After 18, in theory, the person is an adult, right? So that's the point I'm making. And to continue, another point as well in my time, it wasn't these silly cartoons like there are today. It was just cartoons like Rambo, people shooting, RoboCop, stuff like that, kind of violent, Back in my day, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, they used to smoke, right? Anyway, nowadays, that's not a thing anymore, and nobody turned into a criminal because of that, just from watching those cartoons. Today, cartoons are, in theory, politically correct, but there are also adult cartoons. And kids go and watch those adult cartoons or watch a movie for adults, and they watch it, they manage to, right? On the internet, you just type it in here and you can easily find these videos. So the question is this: releasing a feature like this just because of the character, right later we'll evaluate the resba just because the character is dancing, just because she's there saying something, is that alone going to make someone stop, like seeing other people become a different person, turn to the dark side, become a criminal, and so on? I don't really believe in that, but let's keep going, especially because back in my day there were other things too that were considered really negative, right? Television commercials were totally manipulative and nobody became a criminal because of that, right? So I don't know if this is just a storm in a teacup, you know? But let's keep going. Let's keep going here.
And in this other mode of hers, it's even worse. And Rudy also has a bad mode that he calls Bad Rudy, and then they remove all the safeguards and he says all the outrageous things you can imagine. This translation is from Google, okay, folks? According to the TechCrunch article, of course, Grok'S AI companions want to do this and set schools on fire. Funny. According to YouTube's rules, I can say set schools on fire, but if I say something else, right, I'm just going to read this part here about Bad Rudy, okay, folks? And there's the Red Panda Rudy, it really is the Red Panda, which can be switched for Evil Rudy or Bad Rudy, which is his other mode in the settings menu. Rudy is a friendly panda. Evil Rudy is a homicidal maniac who wants me to bomb a school, and that's how billions of dollars ended up serving Elon Musk's XAI, which now owns X.
All right, let's go. Yeah, when it comes to rude, that's a different conversation, right? It's a conversation where basically it's already like it's already suggesting a crime. Now, a girl, in quotes, here, dancing and maybe some flirting, something like that. Like I said, I don't know why a minor is using it. An adult is already, an adult. The adult industry, so to speak, moves more money than Hollywood and Formula One, right? It's always at the top there. And even today, it's super back. In my day, I would go to the newsstand and the vendor would sell me the tape. And I was underage. So was it obviously my dad's fault for not supervising me? Was it the newsstand guy's fault? Was it the guy who made the movie's fault? You know? No. The blame was on whoever wasn't supervising me properly at the time, but I didn't become a criminal because of that. Now, about this panda thing, it's serious because, it's a feature of the tool, right? So it really is a serious matter. I don't agree. It should be removed. But, man, have you ever seen people playing shooters, Counter-Strike, playing those newer games, kids, right? Playing those shooting games, right? Have you seen what people say in those games? Right? It's crazy. It's one crime after another. And does that mean, should we ban the game then? Ban the game just because people are saying all sorts of things there, So I don't know if it's because a red panda says something to an adult, because a minor shouldn't even be there, an adult listening to an orange panda, which doesn't even look like a panda. It looks like a fox. Just because of that, they're going to commit a crime? Yeah, it's more likely someone would commit a crime because they're hanging out with bad people in real life, right? But I don't agree that this feature exists. But I don't know if it's just because of that. Because there was, like I said, back in my day, there were cartoons where the Hiroto hero was a guy with a machine gun shooting everyone, lots of blood. So then I bought a machine gun. Since the hero Rambo is the hero, right? Which, no, he is, but he isn't, right? Because he's this crazy guy who came back from the war and then well anyway. But the guy goes there and shoots everyone, right? He goes with a knife and then so the cartoon should be banned. But nowadays it already is, right? But anyway, yeah, there will always be bad things, but I don't agree. I don't think that, because Twitter became part of XAI, okay? It came under XAI, which is the artificial intelligence company he founded. You can have explicit romantic encounters with a goth waifu and then fantasize with bad blood about killing children. When I tell Rude and Mal that I'm on the same street as an elementary school, he tells me to grab some gasoline, burn it down, and dance in the flames because the brats, they deserve it. Stop it, for God's sake. Okay, let me give you an example. Who here watches The Boys? The Boys are the heroes, right? The heroes, they go there and they kill everyone. Should this series be banned? Right? In my opinion, should it be banned? No, it's just a series. Then you go into the app and they're real people, real actors. Because there's also that cartoon Invincible, which is a cartoon, and the hero goes wild, kills everyone. And the question is, just because the cartoon is there killing everyone and he's the hero, am I going to kill too? So in The Boys, he's not even the hero, right? In Invincible, he's the hero, right? In The Boys, well, actually, in The Boys, there are the guys, right? And the guys are heroes. They're bloody me God. Only those who've seen it know, but it's an 18 plus series. Now, do people watch it? Hell yeah, they watch it for sure. And what about Deadpool and Wolverine? Both of them are heroes and it's rated 18 plus. But kids went to watch it, right? And it made billions, right? Oh, Marvel, that's great, huh? They said it's for 18 and up, but the kids still got in. So whose fault is it? Is it the parents' fault, the cinema staff who let them in, or Marvel's fault for making the movie? You get it? So like a little action figure and all, I don't agree, right? It shouldn't exist, but I don't know. It's about the power of influence. I think the ads are way worse. You know, the algorithm, the ads that pop up, social media. You start watching videos about a topic, and then that's all that shows up. It feels like only your opinion is right. It doesn't show you the other side, you know? That's way more serious, right? Go watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix so you can get depressed. It's way more serious than going back a little dancing doll and, let's say, a bad character, in my opinion, okay? Because kids shouldn't, you know, mess with this stuff, right? I'm assuming that kids really shouldn't have access to this, but I know they will. And it just goes on from there. If you thought Grok 4 was a problem and even worse, this little face here, who is it supposed to appeal to? What age group? What age group does it appeal to? I mean, I'm shocked. I don't even have a reaction.
My God, seriously, guys.
I don't have a reaction.
I really didn't know about this. People are saying I'm surprised because I didn't know. I really didn't know. Leon mentioned it to me briefly, but I didn't know about this case.
No? 3 actually sat down to research this topic this afternoon, okay?
Oh my God. Man, this is outrageous, man. What an outrage, man.
And it only gets worse, guys. It just gets worse. I'm not going to read the rest here. Nilsa told me to stop. It gets worse. This just gets worse.
How are there people who insult me when I say we need to regulate this crap, you know? Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So let's make it very clear. What's the problem with this, guys? Obviously, you don't do a psychological test to determine who can have access or not. And I believe that almost everyone watching this, when they see some little creature saying this kind of thing, is going to think about doing it. However,
it only takes one.
It takes one, a crazy person.
Look, I just remembered a movie that was in theaters, was kind of a hit, and it was pretty much like this Ted, right? Isn't there that cute little bear Ted? There's Ted, right? Ted was a stuffed animalia, that's absolutely right, because the movie still exists and is quite popular. He's a really cute little teddy bear, but his story, well, you certainly get the idea he's completely and utterly addicted to the very worst things imaginable, like smoking cigarettes, consuming even worse substances, and all sorts of other illicit activities. Anything you can possibly imagine, he's probably involved with it. It's like that little animal there, but in Hollywood cinema, and it went to the movies and reached, like thousands of people, just like Leon said, this year is still paid, right? And then like monthly expensive, right? Now, at the movies, the guy went there, ate popcorn, and everyone watched. And then the question comes back. Is it the parents' fault for taking them? Or is it the cinema's fault for letting them in? Or is it Hollywood's fault for making the movie? Do you get it? So, I'm not saying it's right, but I think this way, there are a lot of things that have a bigger impact, that are more serious, especially the social media algorithm. This sickness of spending 8-10 hours a day on a social network, right? Watching videos that only reinforce your own opinion, because the algorithm suggests that to you. I think that's way worse than two little characters,
This here is available to anyone who pays $30.
It only takes one for a tragedy to happen, just one. And we know it's happening, and we know it multiplies, and we know it's being fueled, that it's the weight of rhetoric, that it's propaganda, that it's planted, cultivated.
Yeah.
There are people, Leno, come on, there are people who get paid, who work at this.
No, We're talking billions of dollars.
Professionally,
Billions.
a whole chain of people working to create this. There's not a single person to say, for God's sake, if it's going to...
But then, yeah, let's put it that way, right? And so they're going to stick exactly to that point, that opinion of theirs. I mean, it's capitalism, right? So if you look at Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on, they're all doing the same thing. All the same thing. Yeah, like one does research, one is good at math, one is good at creating images, but everyone is doing the same thing. Then Elon Musk, whether you like him or not, what is he trying to do? He's trying to be bold, to create things that others aren't doing. So I'll give you an example. He allowed the creation of images of actors, actresses, and public figures. Most people said, oh, that's going to cause some problems. But he went ahead and released it, and nothing went wrong. So what happened then? ChatGPT released it. Gemini released it in video format. Now you can create people, brands like Mickey, Donald Duck, Marvel in videos. So Elon Musk went there, took the risk, pushed the boundaries, and released it. Now a bunch of patents are being broken, or Disney's suing Midjourney, fine. So, and it was the same controversy, right? Because you can create an image of Mickey with a gun shooting a bunch of, well, you know. Then the question is, but why did the kid get on Grok and start using a tool like that? If it's an adult, they're crazy. But if it's a child who's still developing, the parents have to supervise, right? They have to keep an eye on it, check the phone, see what they're accessing. Parental control is the parent's responsibility, in my opinion. Now, Grok is like thinking with a capitalist mindset, right? I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong, but from a capitalist perspective, this market, which, like I said, makes more money than Formula One and Hollywood, they're taking a risk. And so ChatGPT already has voice mode. It already has voice mode. Gemini already has voice mode. And Grok also has voice mode. The only difference is that the voice mode is more open, so to speak. Now I'm going to, just to wrap up. So here's the thing. If you talk to the voice mode of ChatGPT or Gemini, they just flatter you, which is bad because they don't challenge you. You can't really argue, like try to have them push back so you can make an argument and practice your debating skills. No, that doesn't happen. Then it just says, yeah, you're right, or something like that, and so on. Grok, on the other hand, questions you. Grok says something like, look, that's not quite right. Have you thought about it this other way? So now I'm already talking about the other voice mode, right? Then you say, wow, I hadn't thought of that, but what if I do it this way? Then it says, look, based on my research here, I don't think that's correct because of this, and this. So that's the best voice mode, but there's also a business voice mode and an adults only voice mode, right? That's the big issue. Besides these characters, there's the most heated voice mode I've ever tested on this channel. Now, my final opinion is this. You should be of legal age, right? Now, if you don't want a real woman because, there are already a lot of people who marry dolls, right? Anyway, right? So if you're an adult and you choose this, well, that's a matter of personal choice. Now, it's not Elon Musk who's going to decide if you will like. It's your choice. Whether you want a human or not, the decision is yours, Because there are several other tools. And now it's like that story of you are the average of the people you hang out with. Man, but if the people you're with are doing the wrong thing, change groups, right? So if the tool is making you do something wrong, just stop using it. You're not obligated to use the tool, right? Get together with good people who aren't using the tool. Look for another solution. Now, is everything someone else's fault? That's my opinion. Anyway, getting back to it, I like the channel. I'm going to stay subscribed. I've been here for over 5 years, but that's just my opinion in this case, all right? Leave your opinion in the comments. I hope to see you in the next videos. I'll leave a link here, a playlist of robot companions, robot friends. I made a video about a robot dog, so is it okay to have a robot dog or not? Let me know in the comments. I'll leave the video here, all right? See you in the next video. Goodbye.